Intermittent fasting is everywhere, and so are the bold claims about what it does to your metabolism. Let's separate the hype from what the science actually shows. First, what it really is. Intermittent fasting is not a diet of special foods. It is simply a pattern of when you eat and when you don't. The most common version is 16-8. You eat within an 8-hour window, then fast for the other 16. Others try 5-2 or alternate day fasting. During the fasting window, you take in little or no calories, usually just water, black coffee, or tea. That is the whole idea. So here's the big question. Does fasting boost your metabolism or does it slow it down? You will hear people swear by both. On one side, fasting is sold as a fat-burning superpower. On the other, there is the fear that skipping meals throws you into so-called starvation mode. The honest answer sits in between. Fasting does have real effects on your metabolism, but they tend to be smaller and gentler than the headlines suggest. Let's start with that starvation mode fear, the idea that going a few hours without food makes your body cling to every calorie. For short fasts, the science points the other way. In the first day or two without food, your resting metabolic rate can actually tick up, not down. The reason is a small rise in stress hormones like norepinephrine, which nudge your body to release and burn stored fat for fuel. The real metabolic slowdown comes from something different, weeks or months of constantly under-eating, not a single 16-hour fast. So no, a normal fasting window will not wreck your metabolism. Your body is far more flexible and resilient than that. Around 12 hours in, something does shift. Your liver's stored sugar starts to run low and your body looks for another fuel source. This is often called the metabolic switch. As sugar stores empty, you burn more fat, and your liver makes ketones to power you through. In other words, a longer fast gently moves you from running mostly on sugar toward running more on fat. That part is real. But there is a catch. This switch rarely flips if you graze all day long. The eating window has to be short enough to empty the tank. Now, does fasting beat simply eating less? Mostly, it works by helping you eat fewer calories overall, just on a schedule. In head-to-head studies, fasting and steady calorie cutting lead to about the same weight loss. The calorie deficit is doing most of the work. Think of it as a chain. A shorter window often means fewer calories, and fewer calories is what tips the scale down over time. So the best approach is the one you can actually stick with. For some people, that is fasting. For others, it is steady, mindful eating. And fasting is not a free pass. You can absolutely overeat inside an 8-hour window and erase the whole benefit. That said, fasting may offer a few genuine perks beyond weight. Many people see steadier blood sugar and lower insulin levels. Timing seems to matter too. Eating earlier in the day and closing the kitchen at night may suit your body clock a little better. Some studies also link it with better blood pressure and easier fat loss, though these effects are modest, and they vary from person to person. It is worth being clear-eyed here. The biggest, most reliable benefit is still the same one, a gentler, more controlled intake of calories. Now for an important catch. If you fast too hard, you can lose muscle along with fat, and that is the opposite of what most people want. Protecting your muscle is straightforward. Get enough protein, keep lifting or training, and don't slash your calories too aggressively. And what about autophagy, the cellular cleanup that fasting is famous for online? Here, it pays to be cautious. Most of that exciting autophagy research is still in animals. In humans, the evidence is early and limited, so it's wise not to overclaim. A good rule is to fast for structure and steadier calories, not for some promised miracle repair happening deep inside your cells. Fasting is not for everyone, so it is smart to check with a doctor first, especially if you fall into one of these groups. This matters most if you take blood sugar medicine. On insulin or certain pills, fasting can push your blood sugar dangerously low. And always listen to your body. Feeling dizzy, foggy, weak, or shaky is a signal to eat something and ease off, not push through. Remember, too, that food quality still counts. Fasting cannot undo a diet built on ultra-processed food and sugary drinks. So here is the honest bottom line. Fasting is mainly a tool to eat on a schedule, with small metabolic perks, not a magic switch. If you take 3 things away, make them these. Pick a window you can keep, prioritize protein, and stay active most days. Because in the end, consistency is what wins. What you do most days matters far more than any single clever trick. And as always, this is general education, not medical advice. Talk to your doctor before making big changes to how you eat. Be kind to your metabolism. Subscribe to A Healthy Dose for more simple, honest health explainers.